The Chinese man say then done with Jamaica. They are finished with Jamaica. Then they pack them bag and go and left Jamaica. They don't want to have nothing to do with Jamaican people anymore. Then they pack up them businesses, them grandparents, everybody when they are Jamaica. Then they left everything. So, if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on what these Chinese people have to say, please keep on watching your girl, cause I got a lot.
Greetings once again, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is the Real Talk Reactions to a Buy. If it is for the first time checking me out, kindly subscribe, like and share to my YouTube channel. And to my returning subscribers, I do say thank you very much for the love and support you are always giving unto me. To a Buy today, guys, I want you to watch a couple of combined video to a Buy. On the first video, it is about this Jamaican lady, as she is exposing on why the Chinese are moving out of Jamaica. To a Buy, I told you this is the Real Talk Reactions, and here we are about to talk about the real talk on or rather what is going to happen to Jamaica when the Chinese leave Jamaica. So watch this entire video to the end and I'll be back with a few comments.
So I was reading a news article in the Gleaner where they say the Chinese shunned Jamaica. So I'm gonna say some of the direct things that they said in this news article. I don't agree with the title because Chinese can mean anything. They need to be more specific. But the Chinese businessmen and women of Jamaica that lives in Jamaica, that works in Jamaica, said then they left, then can't bother, then leaving. So the Chinese man that they were actually interviewing says while some business are still operating in Jamaica, they're investing in migration plans. So they're still working and collecting Jamaican dollars and selling the Jamaican people what their stuff, their products, and making money. But they're also having a backup plan. They're also getting all the money they can get from out the Jamaican people to migrate to somewhere else. The Chinese community is heavily targeted by criminals. They get robbed at gunpoint very often, hostage situation, and tied up at home. The Chinese had a meeting with JCF, and JCF is the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the superintendent relating to crime problems, because they were on the verge of closing down all businesses in Jamaica. So the man that was being interviewed saying that the Chinese community is heavily targeted by criminals and they were on the verge of just giving up all their business and just closing everything down and leaving. And that's when they actually had a meeting with the superintendent about crime and violence in their community. And next, the Chinese said the Chinese Mr. or Mrs. Chin is disrespectful. Cultural differences with Jamaicans are more outgoing and enthusiastic. Most Chinese leave in the retirement age because they don't feel safe. They don't feel like the healthcare system is going to be beneficial to them in the long run, and there's no benefit to paying taxes. So they can pay taxes and they won't get any benefits when they retire, basically. And they don't feel welcomed. So let me put on this. I wrote down everything that I said. So the Chinese people say that they're done with Jamaica, they are left, they don't feel welcome, the cultural differences is affecting them and all these things. So hi, hello. Did the Jamaican people ask you to come to their country? That's the first question. Did we ask you to migrate from China, Japan, any Asian countries that you belong to, or even America? Did we ask you to come to our country and open up businesses in our country? No, we did not ask you to do that. So if you leave, you will leave at your own free will. because we never invited you in our country, and for real, we don't need you in our country at all. It's full time now. Jamaica stand up on their own 2 feet and start go back to farming yam and dashing and cassava and all these things. And talk make these Chinese people feeding dog coat, dog, rat, cat, horse and all these things. Okay? So the Chinese people saying that their cultural difference is a big issue, and the older Chinese people are more stuck in their ways and they don't understand the Jamaican culture because we're more enthusiastic, we're more outgoing, and they're a bit more laid back, conservative. If you're going to a country and if you're going to be doing business in a country, it's up to you to change. It's up to you to adapt to that country so that your businesses will survive, so that you can make surplus of your business. It's not up to the people to change up and fix up for your benefit. No, you were the one that went to Jamaica. Now you're the one that needs to adapt. And if you Chinese people that are in Jamaica would actually integrate yourself in our communities, actually get to understand Jamaican people instead of having your little communities outside of the Jamaican community, having like a Chinese area and then you have like a Jamaica area. If it's migrated into the Jamaican areas and actually try to understand Jamaican people, maybe you guys would feel welcome. Maybe you guys wouldn't be targeted. And it's very wrong that criminals are targeting them. It's very, very wrong. Nobody should be targeted, especially if you have a business. That should be a benefit to a community if somebody opens a business in a specific community. So, my thoughts, the Chinese people need to integrate into the community, and if they want to feel more welcome, they need to understand that we have cultural differences and we're different people, and they're the one that's supposed to change and adapt when they come to our country, not us. And to the Jamaican people, to my Jamaican brothers and sisters, full time, it is full time that y'all start planting back on a cassava, start raising a hog, cow, and all these things, because these Chinese people are feeding you rat, cat, dog, horse, donkey, and all these things without you knowing, without your consent or your knowledge. So then they feed you all sorts of foolishness. They're fucking up your body, fucking up your digestive system. We have enough fucked up shit that goes through our digestive system every day. We don't need people to be falsely impersonating chicken and fish and all these things and giving it to us, okay? It's full time now. We start go back to old Jamaica, farming Jamaica, and stop depending on these people, because Jamaica depend on these Chinese people for their imported products. We need to be importing products out of Jamaica, not importing them back into Jamaica. We need to go back to the old days where importing food and stuff from Jamaica was a big business, okay? And honestly, the Chinese people talking about they don't feel welcome and they don't feel this and they don't feel that. Why are y'all still in Jamaica? Y'all are still making money. Y'all are still milking our communities for everything it has. So you talking about y'all leaving and you're making up migration plans is a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry to say it, it's a bunch of bullshit, because if you guys didn't feel welcomed, if you guys felt like our cultural differences was such a big issue and it wasn't beneficial to you, y'all would have left a long time ago. So all that BS that you're talking about is all BS, because y'all have way more to gain being in Jamaica with your businesses than you have to lose, okay? Y'all make a lot of money out of the Jamaican communities each and every day, and y'all don't put any of it back into our communities. Y'all put it into your communities or send it back to your native land, to China. So what Jamaicans need to do is support people that is Jamaican, that putting back money into our communities, investing in our communities. And I don't know how many videos I have to say where Jamaican people need to start investing in their own. Chinese people talk about how them left and then they do this and they do that. If we were investing in our communities, making our own products, going back to the old days and farming and all these things, we wouldn't need any Chinese people to be in our country to provide any products at all, because we would still have our factories, we would still have manufacturing, and we would still be importing and making a lot of money importing products out of Jamaica. And that's what our people need to get back to. So that's my thoughts and opinions on this story. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell me in the comment section what you think about these Chinese people talking about them at left Jamaica and they appear criminal, they target them, and the cultural difference. They don't like people call them Chinese, Mr. Chin or Mrs. Chin. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section, and tell me if you think Jamaica needs to go back to manufacturing and importing their own products, because that me say and that me mean. Anyway, I'm out of here. Deuce.
Even with the Chinese and the wholesalers, when they come up and they start up their business, I think for the first 5 years they don't have to pay tax, but they found a loophole around it where they try to open up other businesses so they just keep on going and not paying any tax. That's what I've heard. And we don't have those same privileges as Jamaicans, so it's harder for us. And it's like, obviously the government wants them here because more business, more money in the economy, more jobs. But it's just like, why can't you provide all these benefits and resources to your own people? You know, like other countries do. Like, why are you for other people and not for Jamaicans? It's kind of crazy.
I don't know how difficult it is for you, but I actually can focus on more than one thing at the same time. I can express my concern for, what these black capitalists are doing in the country in which I live. And I can also focus on what is happening with a so-called Chinese takeover in Jamaica. I can focus on those two things at the same time. With that being said, from the discourse that I've seen online, not a lot of Jamaicans are focused on this so-called Chinese takeover. Sure, people whisper, but whenever I speak or when other creators speak out and say, we should have some grace for Haitian refugees who are seeking asylum in Jamaica, and we should have some grace for people who are suffering in Jamaica, and we should be careful of how we are allowing foreign capitalists to come and take over certain industries. It's the same Jamaicans at home who are attacking us. It's the same Jamaicans at home who are telling us to mind our business. I also believe that there are bigger issues at play. And one of those issues is the way in which Jamaicans, especially those at home, have been conditioned that certain things are the way they are and should stay the way they are. It's the way how Jamaicans at home have been conditioned to believe that certain people belong in certain tier. And that is why I have seen a surprising number of people to me who are very unconcerned and very supportive of this takeover that you speak of, which is why I'm leaving it alone. I thought about making a video about it, but I'm leaving it alone because the last time I spoke up on here about how certain people were basically trivializing our black culture and trying to whitewash our culture on this here platform, it was Jamaicans, many black Jamaicans, who came to their defense against me. So I have learned my lesson, and I'm going to leave you all to deal with that takeover. While I can, acknowledge that there are certain things that I am uncomfortable with, for the most part, I'm going to leave the Jamaicans to figure this one out.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you've watched this entire video to the end and you have heard whatever the first lady had got to say on to this video and the other videos too, on to whereby you have heard the lady has said that the Chinese are moving out of Jamaica. And as we know, let's just go to the reality now. We know the Chinese have helped Jamaica in a lot of cases and occasions whereby we know the Chinese have helped Jamaica in terms of infrastructure and other things. Again, we know a lot of big businesses in Jamaica being owned by the Chinese. In that case, we know Jamaica is a country that has got different races in it. We know it has got the white Jamaicans. They have got the Chinese Jamaicans, the Indian Jamaicans, and the black Jamaicans. Whereby we all know the black Jamaicans are the Jamaicans in reality. Yeah, but now the Chinese in this case are the one whom are owning big part of Jamaica, mainly because they have dominated Jamaica in a certain way. Now they are bringing a lot of benefits in Jamaica, mainly because of the businesses they are owning. Yeah, so definitely the Jamaican government is receiving something from it, despite of having this knowledge that the Chinese in Jamaica do not pay taxes. Yeah, but definitely there is something that the Jamaican government is benefiting from towards, or rather from these Chinese in Jamaica owning the businesses and other businesses. But in other case, these Chinese, we have got the Chinese Jamaicans. Whereby in the history, it is said even their ancestral is from Jamaica. So definitely they are Jamaicans. Yeah, they are Jamaicans. And this is mostly affecting these Chinese Jamaicans, mainly because when we go there and see the Chinese, we definitely are going to categorize them on the same. Yeah, we don't know the difference between the Chinese Jamaicans and the Chinese from China coming to Jamaica for the greener pastures and whatever. Yeah, but in other case, these Chinese are helping Jamaica, despite of we knowing of the propaganda and the things that the Chinese have done in Jamaica, like not paying the taxes in Jamaica, and they are being accepted by the Jamaican government in there. It definitely means they are helping Jamaicans. So them moving out of Jamaica, it definitely is going to deteriorate Jamaica in terms of elevating. For we know the Chinese are the one whom has made Jamaica elevate when it comes to infrastructures and other couple of things. The Chinese have contributed in Jamaica. You know, they have done a great job. Yeah, despite of it coming around and being noticed as if the Chinese want to take over Jamaica. In my own opinion and my knowings, I know that the Chinese have helped Jamaica too in certain ways. And as we know, the Chinese usually are in Jamaica in a span of 5 years. These are not the Chinese Jamaicans, but the Chinese from China whom come to Jamaica. They have been permitted by the Jamaican government to come to Jamaica for a span of 5 years so as they can work, and afterwards, when the 5 years are over, they go back to China. But these Chinese too, this is the thing that they usually do. When the span of the 5 years is ended, they usually go back to China and they bring back the other families to Jamaica so as they can continue whatever they had started. Mainly because they cannot leave their businesses and their whatever go down. So it definitely need to elevate. And this is what the Chinese have been doing. And this is even other races in Jamaica. Even the Indians we know, but the Chinese mostly. Yeah. And something that usually aches the Jamaicans from the Chinese is that they are working tax free. And another thing is that they are the one whom are owning big businesses, and in some other cases, some of them don't even allow the black Jamaicans to work in their premises. And this is something that the Jamaicans don't love about the Chinese living in Jamaica, you know. And yeah, that's very bad to whatever some of the Chinese in Jamaica usually do to the black Jamaicans. For we know Jamaica is a black man land, and yet you come around and bring racism in this country. It definitely is never going to work. Yeah, it's never going to work. So guys, I want to know whatever you think about this amazing video. Let's share our thoughts throughout the comment section, mainly because we do love hearing from each and every one of you. Thank you very much guys for following up the video with me. I was your host, The Real Talk reactions. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, like and share to my YouTube channel. And to my returning subscribers, I do say thank you very much for the love and support you are always giving unto me. Always remember, guys, to link me up through my next videos. All I wanna say is peace out there.